Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up, go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Let's face it, you bout to get a beat down. Less talking, let's take it to the streets now. Ain't gonna be no rematch, why you wanna fight? Touchdown on sight, yeah, turn off the light, oh, turn off the light, let's get it poppin'. Go dumb. When you see me moving, bodies dropping. Move some. I'm about to go sick, call Earl. I'm turning up like E40, not your average girl. I'm turning up. We can rock like Rocky, make you tap it. Ghost ride the whip, look at my drip. This ain't a copy. We got all night if you wanna throw hands. When they see me fight, they wanna throw bands. Go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702 for a special Wednesday night Shoe Shine Boxing, Shoe Shine Sports, Slugged Out Sports edition of the Shoe Shine. All right, joining me as always will be True Evil. Philly Irish True Evil will be in the building. He said he had something to take care of really quickly. Also, I anticipate the good old 702 Man Cave should be in the building. Saludos to everybody joining us live and on the replay. Shout out to SB in the building. I appreciate it. So for now, guys, until the phone rings and I get my co-host on here, I'll be joined by the worst sports fan ever. That's right. The worst sports fan ever, because I've never met this person. It's a mythical person, as you can see. Somebody that has the 49ers on their head and the 49ers on their heart, but is also an LA Dodgers fan. It's a mythical creature out there, the worst sports fan ever. Incidentally, I heard that there's a YouTube live streamer from the Vegas community that happens to be wearing this every day, just about. So maybe that worst sports fan does exist. He's out there. Niners fan and Dodgers fan. If that's even a possibility. Thanks a lot. LA Shadow, good to see you. Good to see SB. Like I said, my co-host will be joining me shortly. We'll talk about all the sports, but God, guys, yesterday was rough living in Las Vegas. I'll just give you guys a story. Yesterday, I went out to run errands. I went to go see my doctor, and I find out that there was a double homicide at one of the Smiths. It's not my Smiths supermarket that I like shopping at, but it is a Smiths that I've gone to. There's a great dollar store in there. There's a great barber, and as it turns out, you might have read about it. A barber comes into play into the story. It's also got a restaurant that's Sin City Family. You guys probably heard of them. They used to party at a restaurant, like an Indian, Middle Eastern restaurant. It's in that same parking lot, Maryland Expressway in Las Vegas. I go to this parking lot and patronize a lot of the businesses there. I think Shang Artisan Noodles is also there. Somewhere around 11:30 in the morning, the biggest idiot in Las Vegas did the unthinkable and unalived a married couple at 11:30 in the morning in the supermarket. And I'll tell you guys, there was some real freaking superheroes in Las Vegas. Not the Las Vegas Metro Police Department. I'm talking about these two great Good Samaritans that happened to be in the parking lot. And as the guy was escaping after unaliving this married couple at 11:30 in the morning in the supermarket, two superheroes, in my opinion, went after the guy who had a handgun and an automatic weapon, unbelievable, and took him down and beat his ass. I mean, they just beat his ass and potentially saved tons of other people. Now, I'm just getting preliminary. You guys can go read all the facts, but it turns out it's domestic violence, and domestic violence is absolutely a huge issue in this city. I don't get it, guys. I don't understand why Las Vegas has so much domestic violence problems, but this idiot unalived his baby mama, ruined his kid's life, all over child support. This dude only had to pay less than $500 a month for 2 kids, 2 preteens. And he decides that instead of paying child support, he can't stomach the fact that his ex-wife remarried a guy that works at the supermarket with him. Smith's employees. And unalives both of the a beautiful couple. So I guess, just add him to the long list of idiots that'll be facing the death penalty in Las Vegas. Unalives a Latino couple in their 40s simply because he did not want to pay his ex-wife child support. What an idiot. But see if I could find that video or picture of these 2 good Samaritans, because what they did was unbelievable to step up in the middle of the daytime and take on a guy who not only had a handgun, but had a semi-automatic weapon. So I didn't send a text to my buddy Vince. 702 Man Cave said he'll join us. Hopefully he's there. Big Spooky says Vegas ain't the same. Saludos to Isabel. I appreciate you for being here. Appreciate everybody from the Finney community being here. But between that and another homicide in Summerlin, like, what is going on, man? They did arrest this guy who robbed a senior citizen woman that goes for her morning walks in Las Vegas. Here's a video of what happened yesterday. I'm thinking about actually going down there tomorrow and making a video about it, or even maybe doing a video on it here. But this is the 2 guys embracing themselves up top. Let me see if I can graphic.
That's exactly what you did. What are you kids around here, bro? What's wrong with you?
This is after the fact.
Kids, bro. And I appreciate you, bro.
Yo, these 2 guys that are giving each other bro hugs. One of the guys I think had just got done working out at the Planet Fitness. He jumped in and wrestled that firearm away from him. And then the other guy who's, I think, owns the barbershop in that complex started to wail on him to help him out. And it takes tremendous amounts of courage to take on an armed assailant. And Lord knows what this guy was unhinged. He unalived this married couple inside the supermarket at lunchtime. Again, like I said, it's a supermarket I go to often, man. So it just kind of makes you frustrated. It makes you frustrated and scared. They're absolutely heroes for sure. I send my condolences to that family. There is a GoFundMe. I will look for it. I'll probably make a post about it. Because they need the help, man. Unfortunately, this idiot ruined the lives of his 2 preteen kids that now no longer are going to have a father. They're probably going to face their father deserves the death penalty himself as well, because first of all, it was premeditated. This guy had full intention of going down there and causing a lot of harm. But while I wait for Drew, I said this is going to be a sports show. This is a huge week for Las Vegas, guys. It's for a lot of you guys that love to watch Vegas content. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of Vegas content, including the Electric Daisy Carnival. They have their own YouTube page, and I'm sure they're going to be streaming on all 3 stages. Huge weekend. They think 500,000 people will show up. Las Vegas tourism comes and goes in waves, but this weekend, EDC owns this weekend at the Caesars Palace, at the Caesars. They are opening up the brand new day pool right on the Strip. Now, don't think about it. If you guys are gonna have a little bit of perverted minds, you're not going to be able to walk by and see everybody, but it will be on the Strip. So you're going to hear thumping house music all weekend long until Lord knows what, from 11 a.m. to whenever they close this day pool. That day pool is going to be right on the walking path. It opens this weekend for EDC weekend. They've got some big headliners, which is going to add, there's already plenty of day pools, but it's going to add an element of like party on the street, if you ask me. They're going to celebrate it by having some Evel Knievel craziness. They are building a massive ramp. They built a massive ramp. All right. And they're going to have a guy like Evel Knievel did jump the entire thing this weekend. It will be, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of YouTubers there. It is going to expect it to be about 100 degrees, but somebody's definitely going to attempt to jump that thing. So far, what's good? Santel Medio, good to see you in here. Good to see Wiley. Wiley says the pool parties were almost too much when I was young, and they're expensive, man. Here's my take on Las Vegas day pool scene. Okay, EDM has obviously taken over the nightclub scene in America. It took a long time, guys. I was an early dance music DJ in the late 90s and the early days of the rave scene in the Bay Area. That was me. That was my life. It was very hard to go commercial and make the huge money as a DJ playing techno and house music. Today, it's all the rage, right? But this young crowd, Gen Z, they're not drinking. They don't drink. I mean, I don't know what other stuff they do, but they don't like alcohol sales, which is why tequila and all the spirits companies are struggling right now. Nobody wants to get drunk anymore, at least the young kids. So I know they're doing other stuff. They got to be doing other stuff. But that's how all these day clubs make their money in Las Vegas, by marking up bottles of tequila or vodka 1,000%. So if you don't make sales from alcohol, where are you coming up with the difference to hire these DJs with these ridiculous demands? Charging guys? I guess they're going to make their money charging guys who want to be at the pool $100 or $200 a fella. But Gen Z isn't drinking. I don't know. What are they doing? I'll be honest with you guys. A lot of you guys know me because I like to party. Well, I did like to party, but I'm not drinking as much. I don't know. For some reason, alcohol isn't hitting my dopamine receptors anymore, and I've been drinking less and less. So Thursday, I won't be attending it, but they have this EDC parade on the Vegas Strip. So watch your favorite YouTuber. I'm sure they're going to be down there partying. It's all day. It will be 100 degrees. The parade kicks off, I think, at 4 or 6 p.m., and it lasts until 11. And it's going to be a massive street party on the Vegas Strip. I think it's going to start somewhere around Sahara Avenue, which is about where the Sahara Casino is, and go up a few blocks, probably right up to the Wynn. So that's going to be a lot of fun. If you're a fan of that, watch that this Saturday. All right. Also in Vegas news, yeah, we're all getting older. I want to give a big shout out to all the Golden Knights fans. I started off kind of a mild Sharks fan, San Jose Sharks fan. But living here in Vegas and being here when they first won their first championship and getting to see that parade, I've completely converted into a Vegas Knights, Golden Knights fan. And last night in overtime, they said we couldn't beat the Anaheim Ducks. They said that team's too young, too fast. And the Golden Knights now take the lead 3-2. Tomorrow they're going to have Game 6. Golden Knights could win Game 6 and advance to the next Stanley playoffs, which would be extremely exciting. I think they lead. I was reading they lead 3-2, but they also lead the most playoff wins since 2020, I believe, which, I mean, that's pretty amazing. By the way, here is the picture of the ramp, guys. Hit that thumbs up. Here is the ramp in front of Caesar's Palace. This guy is going to leap over the entire swimming pool, the brand new swimming pool. What's good with you, man? AC Walker, good to see you. Somebody is going to jump this entire swimming pool complex, the new day pool at Caesars, and it's going to be televised. That's a pretty epic way to kick off the new swimming pool. I think it is. So make sure you guys look for that, man. Maybe it might be on YouTube. That'd be pretty neat to see that in person. What's going on with shout out to all my San Francisco Giants fans and Dodger fans. Great to see Chauncey in the building. Chauncey, I was just talking to everybody about how on Thursday, Electric Daisy Carnival is taking over the Las Vegas Strip. They are going to be having a massive first parade, their first ever parade in Las Vegas. You don't need to go to EDC. You could be any age, but they're taking over the Las Vegas Strip and having a parade. It's going to be 100 degrees, but if you can stand the heat, you're going to get to party free on the Strip. A massive street party this Thursday to kick off EDC weekend. We got that swimming pool. Somebody's going to jump the whole swimming pool, Evel Knievel style. I think that's pretty cool. While I wait for Drew still, I will get to some sports talk really quickly, guys. Let's talk a little sports gossip really quickly because this I can do without anybody. But the Stephon Diggs trial. I watched the majority of the Stephon Diggs trial. You know that woman. She accused him of choking. You know, she said she was known as the BBL chef. apparently everybody that works for Stephon Diggs had a BBL anyway. But she was the BBL chef. She takes him to trial. And she said that he's, gave her walking papers and then choked her out. And, she took the stand and he was found not guilty. He indeed was found not guilty. So you would think, as I heard, this is what I've heard. Let me know what you guys have heard. But that Cardi B is not, Stephon Diggs is not Cardi B's baby daddy. But somehow after all this trial, and I started the show off with a horrible story in Las Vegas about domestic violence. Somehow today it was caught all over the internet. Everybody, see, you look at Stephon, he's tuned out, man. He's had enough of this. But where is Drew? Let me text Drew, guys. Is Stephon Diggs an idiot to take Cardi B back? First of all, Stephon says that she had a DNA test and it's not his baby's. Hold on, guys. I'm texting Drew. Yeah. Let me check my, where's my interview? Cool. All right, guys. Yeah. The video is going around. She was raising hell. Raising hell. Yeah, she gave it to him today. He took her back. Why are you getting back with Cardi B, bro? Chauncey says, remember Love Fest in San Francisco? Yeah, same concept parade and a party at Civic Center. My old days, South of Market, those were good times. Those were unbelievably good times. So let me know, guys, I'm going to talk about something boxing related, San Francisco related, since my good friend Chauncey is here, who used to live in San Francisco too. But there is a massive event planned in San Francisco by a new promotional boxing company associated with the promoter of not only Sebastian Fundora, but David Benavidez. I'm talking about Samson Lekowicz. They want to bring a world record 135,000 people to see a boxing match July 11th, 7-11 in Civic Center, where they used to have this festival where we've had plenty of great. I've seen hundreds of thousands of people. I went there when, I've been there a million times, obviously. I used to even work at City Hall, but the Golden State Warriors won one of their parades or all of their parades when they won that. Man, I must have seen over like 100,000 people at the parade when the Golden State Warriors won. And they're bringing this event, a boxing match with really not a great boxing card. And they were hoping to get 135,000 San Francisco Bay Area people to come and watch this. First of all, it's not even Tyson Fury. It's not Ryan Garcia, a name you all know. It's not Gervonta Tank Davis. It's a couple of world champions that are fighting at flyweight. Maybe that's the issue. But what I've seen on social media is that they haven't sold any tickets. And tickets went officially on sale this week. And nobody's interested. Now, if you can't afford tickets to sit ringside, don't worry, because they said the thing was going to be free anyways. They said the whole event's going to be free. So what's the point of spending $3,000, $5,000 to sit ringside when apparently you're just going to be able to walk right up to San Francisco City Hall and be part of this record-breaking 135,000 people event? Now, I'm going to be doing a show soon with my boy Lucas Cattell. He's a Northern California sports writer from Boxing Scene. And he's got more intel on that, more information. He's done some interviews with the people that are going to be hosting it. But I'm telling you guys, it's an uphill battle for them to break a world record for a boxing event, considering that they aren't having anybody with household recognition. You know, hopefully my mom, if my mom's listening, I hope my mom goes at least. It's an easy BART ride to City Hall and she could check out some boxing. But that being said, too, guys, going back to this Cardi B thing, she was embarrassed so much that she released a statement. Cardi B was so embarrassed she got caught on camera chewing out her baby daddy, or not baby daddy, Stephon Diggs. She says, sometimes I forget I'm a celebrity. Damn, y'all ain't never cuss your baby daddy out when you hungry. I guess she said she was hangry. Hangry? That's why she's chewing out Stephon? Come on now. You guys think Stefan should have taken her back? He said it's not even his baby. Should he take back BBL Chef instead? By the way, guys, football season is coming up. I'm extremely excited about Fernando Mendoza. I'm not a Raiders fan, but I've always supported the Raiders silently. Las Vegas Raiders. I'm very excited about him. They've also got Kirk Cousins. This guy's been around with every team. He's like Stephon Diggs. He gets around with all the ladies. Kirk Cousins gets around with all the teams. And Kirk Cousins was at the Golden Knights game yesterday, watching the game in Las Vegas. He's already here. He's looking. They say, look out for him. He's shopping for a house in Henderson. Maybe he'll buy a house next to Oscar De La Hoya. Great place to live up there. Here's a little clip of Las Vegas Raiders' newest starting quarterback. Unless Fernando Mendoza takes his job on day one, it looks like Kirk Cousins is going to be the veteran quarterback as they develop Fernando.
Hey, I'm Kirk Cousins, quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm here for my first ever Golden Knights game in person. We got Stanley Cup playoffs, game 5 tonight against the Anaheim Ducks. We got to get a win. Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm Kirk Cousins, quarterback.
He had a lot to say, too, about Fernando in a separate interview, man. He's a big fan. And hopefully Fernando will learn something from the guy, Boxing news, Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn, he's a trip, man. I did a show one time. Twitch was developing a sports program for boxing, and they had a contest for a bunch of podcasters to see about this dream job with Twitch Sports, which I don't even think Twitch Sports exists. But they had him and Jay Leon Love. Jay Leon Love was a pro boxer that used to fight with TMT, and he's Jake Paul's right-hand man, one of his trainers, one of his assist men. They had them judging this contest. Keyshawn was one of the judges, and Jay Leon was the other judge. And I wish I had the video of it, guys, but Drew was on there. Drew was one of the contestants. It came down to me and a female live streamer. And they basically told me it was business, Shoeshine. So whatever, you take that for whatever it means. But Keyshawn Davis voted me off. I came in second place. So there's, second place ain't first place. Good to see you at Chilo Boxing. Been a long time. I appreciate you coming back. Where is everybody? I miss everybody, man. I miss all the old school people. It's great to see you. But this Keyshawn Davis fight, we're going to be doing a more in-depth analysis tomorrow night on my friend Lukey Boxing's YouTube channel. We'll see if we could live stream it to my channel. But this is very interesting because Keyshawn is a silver Olympic medalist who, like I said, I've got a personal story with him, but I've still always rooted for him. He's got himself in a lot of trouble. He got a suspension for marijuana, which I think is stupid. But then last year, he pretty much got himself fired from Top Rank, even though he's back with Top Rank. This is that new Blue Dot. You guys heard about this shit? Blue Dot. The Blue Dot theory. Blue Dot is something that's going around with all concerts and ticket sales regarding events. The Ticketmaster, they call this the Blue Dots. Something like that. Y'all heard about this Blue Dot? All these blue dots indicate unsold seats. This is what's going on for Keyshawn Davis. Yeah, hey, Chilo, if you want to hop on now, man, you can, because I don't see right now. I'll put the link in here, man. Could be the celebrity co-host for tonight. But Keyshawn Davis, and this is something it's happening not just for Keyshawn Davis, who's going to be fighting in his hometown this weekend. This is a hometown hero. The Blue Dot phenomenon is happening to even musical stars like Post Malone. Post Malone had to basically cancel a bunch of cities because people aren't buying seats, not only to boxing, but even concerts right now are struggling. I'll tell you straight up, boxing right now, I'll tell you, I live here in Vegas. The David Benavidez fight that just happened on Cinco de Mayo, this is a fight, I've seen David Benavidez fight plenty of times. But when they're Cinco de Mayo or Mexican Independence Day fights, ticket sales skyrocket. We're talking $300 for nosebleeds to get into T-Mobile. But what they don't tell you is that you're probably going to pay an additional $50 to $75 in fees, BS, bullshit taxes and fees, which pushes nosebleeds for you and your girl or you and your homeboy to about $800 for a date night. And those aren't good seats. That's a really shitty experience to watch a boxing event in the nosebleeds. Yeah, no problem, El Chido. Appreciate you just being here. Still waiting on my other co-host, but I may be all alone tonight. It's really bad. It's really bad. Here's another thing. Oh, okay, I got Vince joining me. Hold on, guys. Signed guest one. Vince, can you hear me? All right. Yeah, I got you, Vince. I'm going to need to take that middle person out. Everybody is 702 Man Cave. Vince, I'm talking about this. This is Keyshawn Davis this weekend, Saturday, bro. Look at this. All those blue dots indicate unsold seats. Yeah. Nobody's buying. Something? Nobody is buying seats to boxing events. And this event in San Francisco, look at this event in San Francisco. This is going to be the event July 11th they're trying to break that world record with Samson, which is the manager of David Benavidez. So this guy said, it looks like this event's going to get canceled. A day after it went for sale, he checked and he said there wasn't a single ticket for sale. I mean, there wasn't a single ticket sold.
I hate to say it, but that sport is dying.
That's
Zuffa is taking over. Zuffa's gonna bury everybody.
Man, you know? Man, let me. I still got it waiting for Drew if he's going to come on here because he wanted to rant on this Lomachenko's coming back.
That's awesome. Ain't that funny? He waited for his contract to end and he left.
Yeah, SB says welcome back.
Right there. What's up, man? How you doing? SB, still waiting for you to come over here to check out my man cave.
Hey,
you're welcome to come over.
Vince,
anybody else that's on the chat, that's pretty cool.
Here's the I was talking about this at Caesar's Palace this weekend. You guys can see this right here. That's the ramp. This dude somebody's gonna jump like Evel Knievel across the entire swimming pool thing. Man, that's gonna be
crazy,
wild,
man.
That is wild.
This also gonna be a busy tomorrow. They got the parade for EDC, like towards the end of the strip, like for Fountain Blue over there.
Yep.
Then we got EDC Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then you got this guy jumping. Man, Vegas will be popping again.
It's gonna be popping for sure this weekend. Lots of people.
Yes.
Did you see that Cardi B and Stefan Diggs got back together? Is he?
My God.
Is he an idiot? By the way, what is going on right now with the Giants and
we're waiting for it to zip. But you said we're gonna win. I said, nah, we're gonna win.
Yeah, it looks.
Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the bumping. What's going on with your guys, your outfielders, man?
Oh God, this guy.
Hey, they say people in San Francisco are like that.
Come on, man. I ain't like that. This guy. Just say it. Just say it.
I'm just saying, you know.
Well, if you guys
the cowgirls, but we don't do stuff like this, I don't know, man.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
Well, it is Slugged Out Sports / Shoeshine Boxing. But if you guys didn't hear, all right, the San Francisco Giants are, second to last. The records are reversed against the Dodgers. And we have a long legacy of, being rivals, right? We're rivals. Shockingly, I'm wearing my hat because the Giants took the first 2 games of the series, and we also took the first 2 of 3. Surprisingly, it feels like the Giants have your number, but they've been doing something really strange when they win a game. The outfielders are dry humping each other. And Major League Baseball and social media, they said they wasn't feeling it. They've been told to stop it immediately. So last night...
That's good.
Last night, they stopped the dry humping. Where's the video of that?
That's why they're losing right now.
Is it the dry humping helped, huh?
Yes.
It looks pretty silly. They've been asked to stop. So, yeah.
Thank you, SB. Thank you, SB.
SB, if you could put Slugged Out Sports in there too, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, here's I think I found it.
What's going on?
Anyways, if you missed it, you'll never see it again because they've been asked by Major League Baseball. This is back in the day that just looking at the uniforms, that was my generation of the Giants. Okay. And then this is the bottom one here. Yeah.
You know, Barry Bonds would have never, ever, ever done that, or Brett Butler, or ever done that.
Well, thank goodness for San Francisco Giants social media because, not Drew, he's not here. Vince, somebody also posted a video of the Dodgers acting inappropriately, and while they may not be dry humping, here's a little Dodgers celebration that's a little iffy too. Oh, the money shot! What is that? What is this? The money shot? Look at this. Oh, the money shot. That's a little inappropriate as well. Although one can argue is, yeah.
What would you do if that was your son doing that? Huh?
I mean, I'd say, come on. I'd be like George Lopez. I'd be like, mas puto. Hey, Vince, there's a lot. There's a lot of, you know, I love to talk with you. I love to talk about fans behaving. I love to talk about fans behaving inappropriately, behaving badly. And there's been a San Antonio Spurs won a game, and I saw the San Antonio fans went nuts. They're beating the crap out of each other in their own hometown. So I'm thinking, this is what's going on in Japan, bro. Maybe instead of humans, we just need to let nice dogs. Look at this dog in Japan taking in baseball. He ain't gonna start a fight with nobody. Look at this dog. I'll take him to the ballpark. Look at this well-behaved Akita. That dog is something else, man. And because he behaves so well, they let him go to all the baseball games in Japan.
And you know what's funny? A dog is better than going with somebody else because somebody else is going to be on their phone, sitting there on the phone, you know? It's like, look at the dog enjoying the game.
A lot of sports is nowadays, a lot of sports, I mean, I don't know how to say it, they're watered down, bro, because I'm going to show you something from back in the day from Candlestick. And don't get offended. I didn't make this, bro.
I don't get offended. I think it's hilarious.
Because when we actually used to have a rivalry, Candlestick Park used to be lit. You know what I'm saying? It was like if they saw it, they actually used to put this in Candlestick, dog. You can't do this anymore. You can't do this anymore. Oh, shout out to 92. Hey, Aku, Caballero 97. Great to see you. Yeah. I mean, great to see you in the building, man. I appreciate it. But a lot of the sports are watered down. I'll say this. I saw a UFL. You know UFL? The football league? I seen some brutal hits this weekend.
I'm telling you, it's better than the NFL.
I mean, and they don't let you do that in the NFL. I saw this one running back. He was like, just think he had, and all of a sudden, this guy just comes from behind and just destroys this dude, laid him out unconscious. You don't see that in the NFL anymore.
No, decleters. You don't see no decleters.
Yeah, I had that clip, but I'm not going to show that. But you know what? I'm going to show this one more time. Yeah, I wish most people. That's
awesome.
Most people should behave like this Akita dog.
For reals.
Anyways, speaking of football, man, you know who Kirk Cousins was at the Golden Knights game yesterday? It was awesome to see him. He said he's shopping for his house. Like I said, man.
Neighbor. Yeah, I'll go hang out at your house.
Nah, he's shopping for a house near Oscar. But look, man, this is the Dodgers game yesterday. I think they're fighting with each other. I'm saying, man, it's I guess sometimes some games still get lit. You know, San Antonio don't make no sense. That's just how,
you know, the Raider fans are like that too. Back in the day, not no more. Now they got a little sugar in their tank. But back in the day, man, they used to, you know, beating each other up.
Hey, the Raiders are going to be traveling to 3 West Coast cities, including for the first time in a very long time. The Raiders are going to play San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara.
Yep.
The 49ers have been this year for the upcoming season of the 49ers. They are going to be the number 1 most traveled team. They're going to have 2 international games. They're going to have an international game on Netflix. I think that one's going to be in Melbourne against the Rams. Man, that's a long way. But the game I'm excited about in November, San Francisco 49ers versus the Minnesota Vikings. They just took quarterback from Arizona, man, Tyler Murray.
I'm excited for the 49ers and Raiders. That's what
Yo,
I'm excited for.
you know how shout out to your nephew Emiliano Vargas in training camp for the big Xander Zayas fight, but you know how he was invited to the Super Bowl and he got to walk, he got to be behind the scenes, he got to perform on that stage with Bad Bunny, Emiliano Vargas at the halftime show in Santa Clara.
Yep.
The 49ers need to reach out to him again. I'm telling you, 49ers, where you at? Listen to this. Invite Emiliano Vargas to the Mexico City home game because the 49ers are the official home team of Mexico City. They're going to be the home team
to invite him. Or
against
invite Fernando.
Invite them both. Invite the whole kids, the family, too, because they're going to be playing the Minnesota Vikings. And my boy is a Minnesota Vikings fan. He goes to all the international games. I'm going to be pissed if Speech, if you're listening, if you go to that game in Mexico City, I'm going to be pissed because I want to go. I want to go. I want to go check them out.
Speech, you don't know me, but give me something for my man cave from Mexico. That'd be bad. Mexico saying
he might.
Vikings.
Dude, I think he went to England. He went to England last year. I don't know. He went all over, man. He went all to all he did. Speaking of, what's his name over here? Stephon Diggs. It looks like the Atlanta Falcons are going to sign him now that he's not guilty. Looks like he's going to get a job. Looks like he's
keep his mouth quiet and just perform like he should perform.
Yep.
Because he's a good receiver. He's good. He's just out of control.
You talked about we'll do a little boxing. There's some boxing this weekend. There's huge MMA news. Did you watch that UFC fight? By any chance?
No, I went to a party. My wife's friend's son graduated law school, and they had a taco cart there. And I went to the last time they cooked. Man, they got the best carne asada. They got everything off the hook. Like, man, I forget the fights.
Yeah. Wow, that's impressive, man. Salute to him. Yeah. Graduating, getting his law degree. Wow.
Yes, good kid.
That's amazing.
He's a good kid. Real good kid.
I ended up watching that fight. The UFC now middleweight champion, Sean Strickland. I generally don't, he's controversial. He says a lot of things that people probably would say he's racist or he's MAGA, like hardcore Trump. So he gets a lot of people that want to watch him get his ass beat. Like fighter.
That's like Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, I hate this guy. I want to see him lose. So I tuned in to watch. I'm not saying I hate him. I think he's maybe a little misunderstood. This fight was really good, man. It was 5 rounds. The only problem is...
Who won? Who do you think won?
You know what? I must be honest with you. That 5th round was like a draw to me, and I thought they both split 4 rounds.
That's what I heard. I heard the other guy won.
Yeah, Chimaev, who was undefeated. I think he edged the 5th round, and it came down to the 5th round, in my opinion. I think they split those two. Now, for most boxing fans, the deal with boxing fans, Vince, is that they don't like to see the wrestling. Most boxing fans don't want to see guys do wrestling. They don't want to see the jiu-jitsu. They don't want to see the grappling. And the first round was like, this dude Strickland was on his back like for 4 minutes. And then the second round, shockingly, Strickland controlled Chimaev for like 3.5. So that's pretty impressive. Let me get Drew on here too.
I just like because they do a lot of stuff and they don't get paid for it. Yeah,
oh man, how do I get rid of this extra screen here?
Hey, that's why I'm glad that thing's going on this weekend because they're going to get paid by that company over there.
What's good, Drew?
I ain't gonna like that.
What's good, Drew?
What's up?
Drew?
What's up, Drew? Good
to have you, Drew. Listen, man, let's get into some boxing news. Now we're all here, guys. This is pretty big news. I'm pretty close to one of the writers, but Boxing Scene, which is associated with ProBox on YouTube, they bought it. They made the website even bigger. They've got the best journalists in boxing, period, hands down. Shout out to Lucas Cattell. But they announced something that shocked the boxing community, and they announced that they're pretty much major layoffs. A lot of the best boxing writers in the world are getting the axe. And what's concerning about it is like these writers, Drew, they weren't even allowed to cover Ring magazine events because the Ring is their own thing now. Ring is owned by Turki Al-Sheikh. They didn't want any of these great staff of writers to be covering their events. They wouldn't give them free passes, credentials, access to interviewing Ring. So now that these writers may not have a job, you got to think Zuffa and Ring are ecstatic because I don't even know how you get credentialed for Zuffa to cover their fights. You know, do you think who's the beneficiary here of boxing scene coming apart?
It's probably Ring Magazine. Like if you look at it, boxing hasn't really been the same for years now. And now, like, slowly, everything like close to boxing is shutting down, or something else is happening. So,
yeah, the ticket sales are abysmal. This weekend, I was letting you know, tickets to the Keyshawn Davis fight. Keyshawn's got himself in a lot of controversy. Are you surprised Keyshawn isn't selling tickets in his own hometown?
No, because I think boxing in the United States in general is like a dying breed. Like it's becoming more and more less popular in the United States.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I honestly, God, don't get it. Man, did you guys both, first and foremost, let's get to this heavyweight, because you say it's falling apart in the U.S. Vince, you agree with them right now?
Oh yes, yeah. To me, like I said, it's dying. Zuffa's taking over.
Zuffa, by the way, guys, Zuffa is going to have their first fight at the Cosmopolitan. They're going to leave that Apex Center on Blue Diamond, which is where they used to do all the tough shows. It's an incredible training facility, but they're going to have their first show in June at the Cosmopolitan, and I want to go. It's going to be on a Sunday night in the middle of the summer, but it's going to have Rayo Valenzuela as the main event. It looks like it's going to be a really, really good card. Speaking of Zuffa, though, I want to give a shout out. We had somebody that had been watching our show, Van Hooter. Shout out to Van Hooter. His dad has been watching our show and in the chat a few times, and I reached out to him a little too late for fight week, and he reached out to me saying, "Oh man, I missed this." I sent him a message. He missed it, and he very excited. His son won by first round KO. Van Hooter did this Sunday, which. The main event, let's talk about that main event Sunday, Drew. Serhii Bohacek versus the son of the legendary Sugar Shane Mosley. Mosley's son beat Bohacek by KO. It was one of the two biggest upsets of the weekend. There was two seriously big upsets. Mosley's coming off a loss. He's lost to Jesus Ramos Jr., but here, damn, dude, he knocked out Bohacek. Bohacek has been knocked out by Brandon Adams of LA, and then he lost to Brandon Adams again on the Mexican Independence Day card with Canelo. He lost again. So he's kind of been on a down streak, bro. He's had really good fights. I think he beat Virgil Ortiz. He beat Brian Mendoza. Are both of you guys surprised? Are you surprised that Mosley Jr. was able to do this to Bohacek? I'll start with you, Vince.
Hell yeah, I'm surprised. I picked the other guy to win. But I still want to see Mosley fight my nephew, Junior.
Hey, I like it, but Junior signed with BKB.
Yeah.
And I'm eagerly awaiting news about when their first fight is, him and Amato signing with BKB Bare Knuckle Boxing. Drew, were you surprised that Mosley Jr. pulled off a huge upset this weekend on Zuffa's Sunday night card?
Yes and no. Because if you look at it, Bohacek moved up in weight to middleweight.
Right.
Because I think Bohacek was. I think the decline was starting his last two fights. I just thought there was like a decline there. It wasn't the same Bohacek that beat Virgil Ortiz and everything, because this Bohacek that could take a hell of a lot of punishment.
Yeah.
And this guy was like getting hit. It looks like he couldn't even take the punishment. Like he just stepped in and just got stopped right there. But it doesn't make the Virgil Ortiz fight when Virgil Ortiz win age well now, because after that he hasn't been the same. So it's something that they gotta look into and talk about. Like, was this the right time for Virgil to fight him, or they glad they must have got him like early as hell. But I think Bobachek's. I think we could probably going to see 2 more fights for him. If he loses both of them, he's probably done.
It was going to be a short career for him at Zuffa. Good to see Chicano Prophet in the building. 1990 Cobra, salute to you. Let me play a clip of Sugar Shane Mosley knocking him out real quick.
Sweeping right hand. Headshot after headshot.
Won't be long.
Mosley Jr. on the...
Damn, it was waved off, man. Hold on. The audio be tripping on me sometimes, guys. And also I had that clip. I had that clip of Van Hooter. So he's just damaged goods?
Yeah, he looked like he didn't look like the same Bobachek.
No, I agree with that. He's definitely not. I think those type of fights that he was in took a lot out of him at this point. I also wanted to give a shout out to Demazian Van Hooter, who we're going to have on the show before his next fight. I got in touch with his dad. They were down here this weekend. Awesome. He had an easy night. He had a 1-round KO against.
Good combination and finishes with a left.
See that stutters? Why is that stuttering?
Took to the body, and Mozzie's all over him, putting the punches together. The next great one, as they have been saying.
The great next ones. Is that I mean, hey, shout out to Mozzie, man. Both of his performances at Zuffa come with knockouts in the very early rounds. But is that a little bit about what boxing fans are saying, Vince? That like even the announcers are like kind of like too much PR guys. You know what I'm saying? Like they're putting on the. Drew, are these guys doing too much? The announcers for Zuffa?
Yeah, I think they're overhyping it a little bit too much, and like I don't know, like it's. I don't see why you have to overhype it, because if the fans are enjoying it, the fans will hype it up for you.
Yeah. But does Zone do the same thing?
You know what? When it comes to the Zone, I think they say a lot of stupid stuff that makes no sense with the commentary, like Maddox. And you'd be like this. You must be like this, head scratching. You'd be like this. What the hell is this dude saying? But like, I look at it, man. If people just sat there and just be honest what they saw and everything, and let the crowd speak for itself, maybe people would be more believable in boxing. Like. If we look at it like this, who cares about what Sergio Mora has to say? Like,
he's right.
like a lot of people are gonna say, why am I listening to a guy that had a mediocre boxing career? Because if we're gonna keep it a beat here, Sergio Mora's boxing career is nothing best but mediocre.
He's got a great commentary career. A lot of those guys that came off that TV show, I'm just going to defend the guys that came off the Contender TV show, because a lot of those guys ended up doing big things in the sport of boxing. Although, I'm not going to say Sergio Mora is had the career of Oscar De La Hoya or Fernando Vargas, but he did what he could with what he was given, the gifts he was given. Yeah. And now as a commentator, I'm just saying, what I'm trying to say is, I don't think any of these TV networks are not guilty of doing the same thing. They always hype their fighter, and Zuffa's not going to be any different. Now,
don't they got Andre Ward over there?
They had Andre Ward, yeah. I mean, even ESPN, Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward, they used to get accused of it all the time, too, over at Top Rank, saying, oh, come on, the commentary is biased towards the house fighter. And it seems like it's always going to be like that, and it's going to be like that, too, as Zuffa, most likely. But, no, I'm going to give my kudos to Damazi. He goes by Damazi Van Hooter now with his second KO on Zuffa. He's going to be an interesting heavyweight to watch over at Zuffa. Because, you know, all of the other big names are floating around other promotional companies. He might end up becoming the first heavyweight champ over at Zuffa for all we know. So shout out to him. Let's talk about what was not hype. This shit was the best fight I've seen in a very long time. It happened Saturday afternoon, guys. There's no sugarcoating this. This was just a great fight. It was a fight of the year contender. In the heavyweight division, Daniel Dubois becomes two-time heavyweight champion of the world against a fighter that didn't have any amateur experience, learned on the job, and became a world champion in Wardley. Wardley drops him twice. Let's take a look at a little clip here. Wardley dropped him twice. In the first round, he drops him.
From the opening bell. 1, 2, 3. So gutsy.
And he takes a knee, a second knockdown. Dubois has been called a quitter before. Dubois had a history. They said, oh, he's folded, he quits. He turned the table in the second half of this fight. Actually, probably round 4, he starts turning the tables and begins a systematic beatdown of Wardley. Wardley's face, his eye socket looks broken. His nose looked broken. Blood everywhere. And here comes the stoppage. A little too late, in my opinion. Look, could have stopped this fight at any moment. This fight still hasn't been stopped. And here we go to the 11th. Finally, they've had enough. All right, guys. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. I'll start with Drew. Fight of the year contender? And should this fight have been stopped earlier?
Yes. And yes. And like, I'm surprised it didn't get stopped though, because of the nature of these British referees that they're quick to stop anything.
You're right about that, bro.
Like, they're quick to stop anything. I don't know why they weren't quick to stop this fight. But if we look at it like this, a lot of people know Fabio Rory's like questions about him. Was he going to be able to fight like the win a war, or was he going to be able to take shots for a steady period of time? It just looked like Rory didn't have no defense whatsoever, and decided to take the shots. And you see his eye was completely shut before he was stopped. It should have been stopped, I believe, a couple of rounds before that, because it looked like that the ref was thinking about it the whole time, like, hey, should I stop this and everything? And like, I thought he should have stopped it a couple of rounds earlier.
All right, how about you, Vince? Drew thinks it was a fight of the year contender.
I can't give an opinion because I didn't watch it, so you know.
I mean, from what you saw, man, the guy took. You could see it in the highlight clip. He took a real beating. His corner didn't want to throw in the towel.
That's messed up when they do that, because man, that guy get really hurt.
Look, his eye
hit hard.
His eye socket was messed up. It looked like he had a broken nose.
See?
Should they have stopped it at least a round earlier? I'm shocked, but I appreciate your honesty.
I'm gonna say yeah, because I hate seeing boxers get hurt. You know, because you know they're humans just like us, and they probably got families to take care of, and you know if he gets messed up, he gonna get. They ain't got no pension, they ain't got nothing. You know.
Yep. Listen, he's now champion again. Dubois has those fights with Usyk under his belt. I wouldn't mind seeing a trilogy as Usyk gets ready to defend his title again or against a kickboxer in Egypt. Maybe down the line. Hey, I appreciate that. A super chat from @FishLash. Really appreciate that, and welcome to the chat. Hey, y'all, never really seen boxing, but I want to get into watching it. Any first fight recommendations? Sorry, I don't know if it's off. That's definitely not off topic.
My nephew, Emiliano Vargas, next month.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Fight card.
Vince's nephew is fighting on the ESPN championship fight with Xander Zayas versus Boots Ennis. He is the co-main event. That's going to be a great fight. But I do have a recommendation, and I'll let my co-host Drew also get a shot at this, guys. This week, I went and visited the grave, May 7th, of Diego Chico Corrales. Diego Chico Corrales passed away he passed away 19 years ago. I went to his grave to pay homage to him. Man. Chico Corrales versus versus Jose Luis Castillo. Castillo versus Corrales. One of the greatest fights you'll ever see. A dramatic 11th round comeback where Corrales stops the Mexican fighter Castillo. Castillo is a fighter that most people think beat Floyd Mayweather. Did beat. He says did. Did beat. So it was quite an accomplishment for Diego Corrales to rally back and beat. It is one of the greatest fights of the past 25, 26 years, 30 years, decades. Drew, if you had to recommend one fight for somebody to watch?
If you're trying to introduce somebody to the sport of boxing as a fan and everything, you want to introduce them to something that they're not going to forget. And the one thing that a fan should never forget is the trilogy of Mickey Rourke versus Arturo.
Hell yeah.
That's another great one.
Because it can introduce you to a lot of things about boxing, even though both guys didn't really have like the stellar records or accomplishing championships, but they went to war 3 times and it made history. So if you introduce somebody to as a fan of boxing, the first thing you should show them is Arturo Gatti versus Mickey Rourke.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, Drew. Thanks for pointing that one out. That's also one of the greatest trilogies in boxing history.
Or how about Marquez Pacquiao?
Marquez Pacquiao, number 4.
But you know what? Here's the other thing is, man, if you look at it, it really is like to have a recommendation. It depends on what nationality are you. Like if you're Puerto Rican, let's say the first 2 fighters you want to probably bring up and let them watch is Felix Trinidad and Miguel Cotto. With Felix Trinidad, it's him winning the IBF middleweight title off William Jaffe in the 7th round KO fashion. And when it's Miguel Cotto is beating the hell out of Paulie Malignaggi in a junior welterweight showdown.
You know, that's a great fight. Paulie's been, I got a clip of Paulie Malignaggi. Something that happened, Adrian Broner's been in the news a lot because he's now doing the kick streaming. But that is a great fight, Drew. You brought up a great one where Paulie Malignaggi, he showed what a human being is capable of doing when you refuse to quit, when you're basically going out on your shield, the expression. What he did against Cotto made me a fan overnight. I'm like, this dude has the biggest balls ever, facing a severe beatdown and still finding a way to hang on to the final round. He was not going to let a prime Miguel Cotto knock him out in his hometown, in Madison Square Garden or Brooklyn, wherever that fight took place. He just wasn't going to have it. He's like, I might be losing, but you ain't going to take my soul, and he didn't. So those are all great fights to introduce a fight fan to. Do you guys want to hear this clip about some old school Adrian Broner? You know, he's Adrian Broner with talking about Paulie Malignaggi in that famous fight they had where he stole his girl.
That's my side piece.
Before I get to that, David Benavidez appeared, I think he appeared on Dean the Great's clip, man. Did you see that on Kick, Vince?
No.
Let me take this off here. But listen, David Benavidez is getting some backlash because apparently he used the N-word. And you know that a lot of hip-hop, a lot of Latinos from Northern California, a lot of Latinos in general, especially East Coast. David's from Phoenix. He's lived in California. He's lived in Seattle. But he used the N-word, I guess, with Dean the Great and Adrian Broner. And this is Adrian Broner. Listen, they're accusing David Benavidez of appropriating black hip-hop culture using the N-word. Nobody took offense to it, but people on social media took offense to it. But should I take offense as a Mexican-American to Adrian Broner's shitty Mexican Taco Tuesday outfit? I mean, these are the worst Mexican mariachi outfits. Vince, help me out here. Should I be offended about his shitty Taco Tuesday outfit? It looks like a nightgown. And then that retarded... Yes. Look at that hat.
That's not even a sombrero, man.
That's just Taco Tuesday.
If you look at it,
I'm offended.
First of all, we got 76 people live in this chat. We only got 21 likes.
Yeah, let's get those likes up. Broner is a bum. He's funny though. He's been pretty funny on these streams.
Hey, but I can't say what I would like to say, but that's not right what they're doing. Because what if we turn the tables on and we do something like that? I ain't gonna say what we could do, but just think about what we could do, and then they'll get pissed off too. And but now a lot of Hispanics are saying the N-word now. And they're okay with that. But I hate when they say that word, because we're better than that. We don't need to be saying that word.
It's like this. Because I don't say it. I don't say the word. I think that, people complain about using the word, but I don't say it. Like David Benavidez, I don't know, man. I don't really watch the Kick streams, really. I might watch clips of it on Instagram or the baby alien, and and some of it's funny as hell. But here's the thing. I was talking to someone earlier about David Benavidez. And they're like this, oh, you saw that fight, right? I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, well, what does he do now? And he wants to fight Beaver. He wants Beaver to move up to 190. And I tell him like this, I guess you don't hear everything because David Benavidez says he could make 175. And now they're trying to get Beaver to move up to 190. So which one is it? Can you make 175 or can't you? And why the hell you want somebody to come up to weight and anything? I'm gonna look at it like this. People look at how boxing is at a decline. Boxing's at a decline. Yeah, you're right. Boxing's at a huge decline. And the thing about it is, it's always been like this with the A side always tries to flex their A side to get a big advantage on the B side. Mm-hmm. And they're thinking, we're going to bring Beaver up to 190 because David always had experience in it, and David will have the advantage, a big advantage and everything. I'm gonna say this to everybody. If you look at David Benavidez, do you know why he goes on those Kick streams? Because he's trying so hard to become a bigger draw. Yep. And he can't become that bigger draw because of his father, disrespecting other fighters in the sport because they're not getting a Canelo fight. So when everybody he messes Canelo, dude, your career is central. You're making your son's career center around Canelo, knowing you're never going to get that fight.
Yep.
And you're never gonna be that big of a draw because you make yourself so negative.
Man, you sound like a big David Benavidez hater though right now, Drew.
But he's telling the truth.
No,
he's right.
They can say whatever the fuck they want, but it's the fucking truth.
I will agree with you on a couple items. First of all, it's crazy how much young fighters, he's still a young fighter, they do feel the need and pressure to be on platforms like Kick with the biggest streamers. Ryan Garcia's got a huge Kick following now. He started on TikTok. Emiliano, your nephew, is even on Kick. And this weekend, not only does boxing Top Rank have to compete with the big MMA fight that, and I want to thank you again for that second super chat. We're so appreciative of that. Shout out to you for that second. They said, what do we think of the Paul brothers? First of all, Jake Paul's doing incredible things now, producing a second MVP event, free on Netflix. I'll touch briefly on that before we end the show. We'll do some odds, look at these MMA odds, but they're putting on a massive show. Drew told me today he saw that clip. Jake Paul says he may never fight again. Just a few days ago, the status is that he had his jaw broken by Anthony Joshua, one of the great heavyweight champions. Right? That jaw was broken. I think he didn't take care of it, he said. So he ended up having to go in silently. He didn't let everybody know. He had to go in for a second reconstructive surgery on that jawbone. And he doesn't think that he may fight ever again because the doctors are telling him, bro, don't do it. You're going to get hit again in that jaw. It's most likely going to break again. He did lose a tooth. He said he has to have implants put in. He'd like to get implants. So, if you're going to spend the money on implants, you probably shouldn't box anymore. But he got an interesting phone call. Jake Paul, he's going to be in the news this weekend. Very interesting, guys. Because Canelo and him have been on the phone. Yeah. And here's what he had to say, because Canelo's going to be fighting a real champion in Billy. A really tough out this September, Mexican Independence Day, most likely in Saudi Arabia. Canelo's in camp now preparing, getting in shape. He has 2 fights left on his contract with Turki Al-Sheikh. So here's what he said, because Jake Paul and him have been on the phone, man. $200 million is involved.
Similarities.
How much money did he want?
Canelo wanted 200 million. One day we make a good fight. Until then, we can be friends. Canelo, I have the $200 million for you. Easy money. Jake Paul versus Canelo. Let's get it done. This is what the fans have been waiting for. This is the big fight that can possibly be made in boxing. Canelo said he's down on the phone, so we're going to make it happen. I have the $200 million. And I think that's going to be the next fight. So, sign the contract, Canelo.
Crazy. So he said he doesn't think he should fight, but he's willing to get he's willing to pay Canelo. Remember, he has his own promotion company, MVP. He can also get the money from Turki Al-Sheikh to put this thing on. Yep. And before you would think that Canelo would say, I'm not fighting this dude. This guy's a chump, man. This guy's not a real fighter. He's not a real boxer. Well, he got in the ring as heavyweight against Anthony Joshua and broke his jaw. He is a real fighter. He's a real fighter. He's a real promoter. $200 million is so much money that Canelo says, I will do it for $200 million. I'll start with you, Vince. Do you think with this broken jaw and all that Jake Paul, do you think he's actually going to try to make this fight happen? And do you think Canelo will accept it?
If he does, it's going to be stuff on the contract like, oh, you can't hit me in the face. If you hit me in the face, we're going to take $190 million off you because, he like did Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson would have busted his face.
No right cross to the jaw, the broken jaw. Drew, does this fight happen for $200 million? And be honest, bro.
I'll take it.
Is this a fight you do at the end of your career? Floyd Mayweather did it with Conor McGregor.
No, I don't think this happens. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think there's too many obstacles for this fight to happen. Like, he has 2 more fights on the deal. I don't think Turkey's going to sign on for one of those fights being a Jake Paul fight. And I think Turkey has 2 fights that he would want Canelo to be in. And we will look at it. Turkey's desire to see Canelo fight Benavidez is one of them. Yep. And the other one is for Canelo to possibly fight another big name. He wants a Crawford rematch, and Crawford told Turkey, "I'm retired."
Yep.
I didn't, and that's another thing. Mason Sumo should not say somebody retired cowardly and everything. Sumo needs to really shut his ass up, because if you're talking about somebody retiring cowardly, then I guess you're calling Canelo a coward, because supposedly that coward gave that dude Canelo a boxing lesson. Came up 2 weight classes and easily and made Canelo look like a freaking amateur for 12 straight rounds. So let's look at it like that. I think for boxing, no, this doesn't happen. I think that this could be one of the final nails in the coffin of American boxing if Canelo was to take this, because Canelo is actually statistically still the face of this sport. When you talk about North American boxing, the first name that comes up to you is Canelo Alvarez still. And after that, this sport's in trouble in North America. Because we were having a conversation about this earlier, Dave. You can't even get fights to sell out big arenas anymore. They're talking about these little 5,000 seat arenas being sold out. They can't sell out no 10 or 8 or 20,000 seat arena anymore in boxing. Every time they try to do it, they have to cover the whole nosebleed section or the 2 high sections off.
That just happened now. For Cinco de Mayo, David Benavidez, they shut the top 2 Cinco de Mayos in a row. They've had to shut the top section of T-Mobile Arena off just to give the illusion that it's a good crowd. Now, this is really interesting because May 22nd, Saturday, this event's going to be on Sunday here that you see who's Brand Risk? Well, that's one of the top streamers in the world, Aiden Ross. But on Saturday, May 22nd, in my old... I lived in San Jose, the South Bay in California for over 20 years, guys. San Jose, California has a return of boxing. Top Rank. Amari Jones is going to be headlining a card. And unfortunately, I don't have any good news about ticket sales. It looks like a complete bust with just a few weeks to go. That show is in trouble. It's a hockey arena that holds close to 20,000 people, hockey concert arena. If that fight gets 3,000 or 4,000 tickets sold, it is going to look so bad. Meanwhile, Aiden Ross is bringing his influencer social media star boxing to the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas on Sunday, May 23rd, the day after. I'm going to tell you, this one's probably going to sell out. All he has to do is sell about 4,000 tickets, and you get to see former football quarterback Johnny Manziel and the guy who famously exposed Kim K, Ray J, as the co-main event. And I guarantee you that this will probably sell as many tickets. Might be a full house to see a bunch of box. By the way, if you're a fan of the Island Boys, the Island Boy, he's Island Boy. I bet you the Cosmo's going to be cracking on Sunday, May 23rd.
They're going to sell it because all the YouTuber kids and all the people will be there.
Oh man, your nephews are going to be there for sure. I bet, man. It's going to be all the big streamers.
What's his name?
Oh, Oblivion.
Oblivion. They got to catch her in the bathroom with no cameras.
That would be lit.
I like this. It's Menzel, and it's the number 1 name on the Diddy party list, Ray J, on this card.
That's true.
So what really can we say about this card? But and it's crazy because let's look at it like this. Influencer cards are selling more than regular boxing cards. And it's a goddamn shame.
And that's why you see so many, I guess Dean the Great was telling AB, AB was exploring fighting for brand risk, and he said, hell no, dude, they don't pay anywhere as much as Misfits boxing. And your nephew Amato went over and beat Dean the Great. He was telling Dean the Great, told him, dude, Misfits is where it's at. If you're going to go that route, they pay way better. But we got some real news. One of the greatest to ever do it as far as amateur boxing, 2-time gold medalist, 400 amateur wins. This guy was undisputed at lightweight. You know, he even went to Ukraine and fought in the Ukraine war. Came back.
That's awesome.
Member of the Olympic team with Usyk, was on his Olympic team. Drew, the big news is, you know, he had a back injury. I think maybe he had back surgery at one point, not like 2 years ago. But he's back. One of the best fights I've ever seen was him and Devin Haney. One of the best fights. He's back. And the real question is, Raymond Murataya at Top Rank is a fight that looks like it can be made, and it would restore him to become a world champion. I love that fight, Raymond Murataya versus against Lomachenko. I like that fight, but the fight people really want to see is against Gervonta Tank Davis, and Gervonta Tank Davis has all kinds of legal trouble. He's going to court too. He's got his own court date. I'll start with Vince. Who should Lomachenko fight in his very first fight back?
Shakur Stevenson.
Damn.
Zuffa.
At 135 or 140.
He's a free agent.
He's a free agent.
Yeah.
He is a free agent.
And Dana will pay him.
That'd be a Ring Magazine fight. That's another great option, man. There's a lot of people don't think nobody could crack the Shakur Stevenson. It'd be a real sweet science, the sweet science. Drew, does he need a tune-up to fight Shakur Stevenson, or do you think that he will get an opportunity to fight Tank Davis for the big money?
I think Shakur Stevenson days at 135 are done, are numbered. I think he's going to move up to one. I think he's going to stay at 140 and campaign there. Like, there's really nothing there for Shakur because he's not going to get a Tank Davis fight.
Nope.
I'll be honest. I won't be surprised that Tank Davis never fights again. With the way everything's going, and like, I don't think he's going to accept a big payday to fight Lomachenko if somebody else offers it, because I don't think he's going to get money to fight Lomachenko by PBC. Like, if we look at it from what I was told, Loma's going to exclusively fight on DAZN, and the two names that came up as return fights is Frank Martin and a WBO title, an IBF or a WBO title fight with Abdullah Mason.
Okay, well, hey, I'm not hating on the Abdullah Mason fight. That young kid, that would be a really interesting fight.
I feel so bad that they will feed this kid to him, because I'm looking at it. Abdullah Mason is fast and everything, but Abdullah Mason hasn't really fought anybody yet, and he's been knocked down a couple of times already, and like, he was caught.
Yeah, he's been caught.
Abdullah Mason has weaknesses that can be explored.
He's the youngest world champion. Remarkable what he did. I think he's world champion at 21 years old, if I'm correct, and if anybody knows. But Drew, you brought up a good point. Abdullah Mason, he's at Top Rank. It's a championship fight. Raymond Murataya is also a championship fight that could be made with Top Rank, who he used to work for. Lomachenko had all of his great fights with Top Rank. But this has just been announced for Las Vegas. It's kind of confirmed that this fight is going to be happening August the 1st. William Zepeda, El Camarón, he sells incredibly well, versus Lamont Roach for the vacant WBC title. Lomachenko could be on the path to undisputed all over again. I'll tell you how, Drew. He fights Raymond Murataya or Abdullah Mason first, whichever. And he unifies those two fights and goes for this WBC. One of these guys, Lamont Roach or Camarón, is going to be the WBC lightweight champion, 135 champion of the world. I think Lomachenko could become undisputed in a year, like, if he wanted to.
Tank Davis hasn't fought in a year and a half. Tank Davis, they never even made a decision on Tank Davis yet, the WBA. They make him champion at recess or strip him. Like, and that's the thing. I thought if you haven't defended your title in 18 months, you get stripped of your title. That's what I thought. That's why Manny Pacquiao was stripped of his title, of the WBA title, because he didn't defend it for 18 months before he fought Ugas. So the thing is, as of right now, Tank Davis is your 135-pound WBA champion. And it's up in the air whether Tank's going to fight this year or not. With the legal trouble and everything, I think that if anything, Tank might not be able to leave the state that he's in. So that just tells you one thing: Tank might not be able to fight until next year, and that'll probably be over 2 years of layoff.
Yeah, that's a long time for Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko wants to have a short return, maybe 2 fights.
I think
3 would be pushing it.
Depending on what Loma does and how he performs, if we see somewhat the old Matrix back, I think depending on who he's matched up with, Loma can go on for 4 or 5 more fights and everything.
I love the Shakur fight, man. I think that's a big money fight Turkey could make happen.
I think the big fight for Shakur Stevenson is Devin Haney.
Rematch?
Because I really think it's going towards Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson eventually happening. And that's another thing. Bill Haney talks out his ass every time. Everything that Bill Haney says is talking out his ass. I think eventually within the next 6 months you're going to see Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson made.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because
Zuffa?
now probably going to be Zuffa. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. I think if in the next 6 months you're going to have half of these big names sign the Zuffa boxing and say, fuck these sanctioning bodies.
Yep.
And I think the sanctioning bodies are going to lose majority of their revenue from American fighters because a lot of the American fighters are going to wind up signing the Zuffa.
Man, $100 million is the rumor going around. But this is what Dana White had to say. Vince, let me know what you think about this. He said if Haney wants to be successful under Zuffa, he needs to start knocking guys out. His lack of power is a little worrying. The rumors going around that he's looking at staring at $100 million deals. Whether you believe Devin Haney's worth it or not, I mean, that's everyone's personal opinion. But if you were going to pay something like that, Vince, would you like to see Devin Haney start knocking MFs out?
Yes. I wish he would have fought Rollies, but see, Rollies messed up when he sparred him a long time ago. Rollies put hands on him. And Devin ain't going to fight nobody that hits hard. That's why that fight never happened. Rollies had the contract signed, and Bill Haney said they had it signed, but they never got signed. I talked to Rollies and said, dude, what happened? He said, they didn't want to sign the contract. I said, well, that's your fault for hitting them hard back when they were amateurs. Because that's how he did Ryan, too, when he beat Ryan up. I said, that's your fault. I said, next time, let them beat you up.
So you think he gets signed? He gets signed to Zuffa, but not for $100 million?
Not for $100 million, because if you look at it like this, guys that he had like big success at with power. Let's look at it like this: Devin Haney rehydrated way above the weight limits.
Yep.
For most of his fights. Like when he fought Regis Prograis at 140, he was up to almost 170 pounds. When he fought Lomachenko at 135, he rehydrated to 165. And he still arguably lost the fight. And he still took a lot of punishment. And then when it came to Brian Norman at 147 pounds, he could clearly be up to 170. And everything. They take advantage of the rehydration.
Yes, sir.
And everything. And the problem is, he still isn't knocking people out. So that tells you this right now. He doesn't have power, Devin Haney. Devin Haney is a guy that has to rely on his footwork and his boxing to beat guys. And I'll tell you this right now, if you're not knocking guys out, it's going to eventually come to bite you in the ass, because if you look at it, Paulie Malignaggi,
Perfect.
As talented as a fighter that could be, didn't have a lick of freaking power. Eventually, what do you do? Go on there, go up, walk him down, get him in the corner, rail on him. He doesn't have the power to get you off of him. It's like when Josh Warrington fought Bronco Lara. People are like this. I'm picking Bronco Lara to knock by stoppage because I don't believe Josh Warrington's a good enough boxer to keep him away from him. And what happened? Bronco Lara walked him that whole fight and knocked him out. Because Josh Warrington had an inability to box somebody and to have enough power to keep somebody off of him. It's the same thing with Devin Haney. If you put a good enough fighter on him, or if he tries to play hero and go in the pocket with you, he becomes a punching bag like he did with Lomachenko, and whoever he fights that he gives him, and Ryan Garcia, he became a punching bag. He cannot defend against a simple left hook. And the thing about it is, he had to do everything he can, even file a lawsuit to keep his out. And I'm sorry, that's the legit point. How can you respect Devin Haney and everything where you clearly lost, not because that someone took a performance-enhancing drug that had nothing to do with strength and everything, but the cut weight and everything, and doesn't have to do nothing with skill because you could not defend against a simple left hook, a basic left hook and everything. And Devin Haney has a suspect chin.
Yes.
Hey, I forgot to mention this one, but Teofimo might be signing as well with Zuffa. That's all up in the air. I don't know how many people would be interested in seeing Teofimo versus Lomachenko number 2. Teo's coming off a hot loss. Maybe that's a fight that they'd be willing to explore, whether or not. But these, Shakur being over at Zuffa and Teo potentially signing and Haney, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a big offer from Lomachenko gets a big offer from Zuffa. I wanted to segue really quick into some of this weekend stuff because it is kind of late. Drew, will you be watching this at all? Would you be at least bit interested in the return of 2 female MMA legends, Rousey versus Carano on Netflix, 6 p.m. Pacific time, Drew? Let me give you guys some of the fighters on this according to DraftKings, and I'll ask you, Drew.
Oh no, Carano's hot still. So
okay, yeah. How old is Carano? 40?
I don't know, but I'm not attracted one bit to Ronda Rousey. I think she's ugly as hell.
Ronda looks like she's been using some, I don't know, man. Her neck is just so big that I feel like she might be on PEDs. I don't know if they're going to be testing for this. But look, Ronda Rousey, her neck is so big right now. She is the favorite at negative 535. I think she beats Gina Carano by choking her out or submission. Gina Carano is a plus 400 underdog. Who wins this fight again? Both.
I'm going with Gina Carano. I think she's going to get a punch. Here's the thing. Ronda Rousey was knocked out both of her losses.
Yeah, she can't box. You ever see her shadow box, Vince? It's awful.
Yeah.
No offense.
I really think Gina Carano's going to catch her.
Man, it'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. She can kickbox.
And I think she got on the Ronda Rousey's skin because here's the thing. If you look at it like this, it came out that Gina didn't really care, wasn't paying attention to Ronda Rousey, didn't really care too much about it and everything. And she said, hey, Ronda needed me to come out of retirement to fight her so she can make this paycheck. So she should be thanking me. You're welcome, Ronda.
This is a great opportunity. This is a great parlay. Vince, who do you got in this fight?
I like Ronda. I always go with Ronda.
I'm going with Ronda, too. In the co-main event, Nate Diaz, everybody loves him. I think he showed up at the press conference smoking weed, and I think Ronda was saying she was giggling when they were interviewing her. She said, Nate got me high.
I'm about to say.
He was smoking weed at the press conference, and she's giggling, going, I think he got me high. He's fighting Mike Perry, he went on. Mike Perry had a very successful bare knuckle. He went into bare knuckle and did very well. Nate Diaz just lost recently to Jake Paul. But he's everybody's favorite, but he's not favorites this weekend, man. He's a plus 180 underdog. Mike Perry is the favorite. Who's still got more left in the tank? I'm going to go with Stockton. I'm representing Nate Diaz all the way. But what about you, Drew?
I'm going Mike Perry. Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is. I don't think he has punches that can really hurt you anymore. The way that he punches, I can't see it hurting somebody anymore.
Yeah,
I think Mike Perry wins.
I appreciate all the new people in the chat. Consider subscribing, guys. We talk sports 2 to 3 times a week. For a more elaborate breakdown tomorrow, I'm going to be on my friend's channel, Lukey Boxing from boxingscene.com at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. We're going to have some really good guests on that too. So check that out. I just dropped the link. Subscribe to Big Dog Lukey. He is a columnist for boxingscene.com while they're still around, man. So in the card, also Francis Ngannou, the former heavyweight UFC champion against Felipe Lins. Dude, I thought Ngannou was going to knock out Tyson Fury, man. I was shocked. I was shocked how bad Tyson Fury. And I've been watching Tyson Fury's Netflix special. It's okay.
I forgot all about that.
I'm not really into it. You know, I just can't. My wife likes it. You know, they're an interesting family, but it's like all his kids just cuss nonstop. I can't believe it.
Man, those kids need some leather in their life. You know.
Hey, Ngannou's got an easy night. He's a negative 1450 favorite. You're gonna have to bet $1,450 on the money line to make a $100 bill. Drew, who do you got?
Back like Mike Tyson.
I'll probably pick Ngannou. I think, but here's the issue. I think Ngannou hasn't been in the ring much. He's been in boxing more, like the PEL, that PTL, wherever he was. He didn't really fight for them, and he was released by them and everything. And if it's just when it comes to his MMA career, it just went downhill a little bit. Like maybe this jump starts it back up, but I think Ngannou wins this. But him as a top heavyweight MMA fighter, I just don't see it anymore.
Yeah.
All right, guys, moving on to boxing. We got Top Rank returning to DAZN. It's kind of a big deal. We'll see if he could put some seats sell some seats, butts in the seats, as they say. But we're talking about Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis, a negative 1,400 favorite to Nahir Albright. Albright beat one of his brothers, so this is kind of a revenge thing. How good will Keyshawn Davis look after another long layoff? He's a negative 1,400 favorite. I'm just going to say it. Him and Brian Norman Jr., I think, are going to have easy nights. That's the co-main event. Maybe that's why this fight is not selling well, because it looks like it's going to be easy work for both of them. I got Keyshawn and Brian Norman Jr. winning. Drew, who do you got?
I got both of them. These guys promoters are still not figuring this out, that you cannot put mismatches on cards and expect to sell.
That could be it, Vince.
Yeah, he's right. I'm with you guys. But I think he's going to finish him fast. I think it's going to be a fast night for him.
And Keyshawn, I think, could be a real player at 140. I think by the end of the year, if he keeps his head on straight, I think he could be a world champion. But he's got to mature, and hopefully that maturing has been happening, because he could definitely be a champion again in a second weight class.
Yes.
I think he could even be a welterweight champion someday. I am going to do a show tomorrow, guys. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Make sure you subscribe also to @SluggedOutSports, Vince's channel too. Any final words, Drew?
No, not offhand.
All right, Vince. I see the Dodgers came back.
I know. Hey, but go watch Netflix, the Kevin Hart roast. That's hilarious.
Oh man, I'm gonna watch it then this weekend.
I'm gonna disagree. I can't. I'm gonna tell you this. I watched that yesterday, man. That was kind of stale for me. I think like a couple of people were funny. That was it.
All right. I love a good roast. Yeah. Until then, we'll be back on Monday night. We might have another show, so make sure you hit subscribe and that notifications. I'm Dave in the 702 Philly Irish, 702 Man Cave. We out. Peace.